just one word about efficiency, because I think it's very important not to leave it out. I think in the short run, improved energy efficiency is clearly the way we're going to reduce emissions the most and avoid a lot of those coal-fired power plants. Efficiency works particularly well together with some of these renewable resources. Patrick is right. You don't just talk about efficiency. I mean, you actually have to make investments. You actually have to change things. And I think that the indication of the practical reality of being able to do that is to look at what's happened in California literally over the last 25 years. 25 years ago, California used as much electricity per person as the rest of the country. Today, California uses almost exactly half as much electricity per person as the rest of the country does. Now, I don't know how recently most of you have been in California, but I can assure you that people are not freezing in the dark out there. It's not a primitive, backward society. That has happened because laws were changed in California to motivate the electric utilities to invest heavily in their customers' efficiency. Appliance efficiency standards were passed much stronger than other parts of the country. Those laws have just been ramped up, and in fact, the big electric utilities in California have just announced literally multi-billion-dollar commitments to invest in efficiency. Imagine what we would be accomplishing if the entire country adopted the kind of law that California has in place. Let me just conclude by saying this is clearly a global problem we face. This is not just, it's not going to be enough to just replace the coal-fired power plants in the United States. We're going to have to do it in China and India and many other countries as well. There is going to have to be a mix of technologies. And I don't rule out personally that nuclear can play some small role in that. And to the extent to which electric utilities, under existing law, I mean, there's a licensing process available. There are all kinds of incentives already in place. They are certainly free to put their own money on the line. But we no longer have a government-dominated sort of anti-consumer regulatory system as the sort that existed 30 years ago. And even in places like China, there's much more movement toward a market set of conditions. And that is why it is my belief that if you really create a level playing field, if you allow all of these energy sources to compete equally, that you're going to find, not just in the United States, but also in countries like China and India, which themselves, while they are certainly building some nuclear plants, also have rapidly growing wind and solar industries. That you will really see this move forward as a global transition. In fact, China is really on the verge of being number one in the world in both wind energy and solar energy development. So I think that it's a competitive race out there, but I think we're going to be making another huge mistake with nuclear power if we repeat what we did 30 years ago and proceed forward with an overly optimistic sense of how easy or how quick it's going to be to build nuclear power plants. Thanks very much.